Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey, what's up, y'all? So I decided to come on this thing and do a little story time because it's Thanksgiving, and 2 years ago I went to jail on Thanksgiving. It was like a couple of days after Thanksgiving, but it was Thanksgiving. Like my last meal was a Thanksgiving dinner. So we gonna talk about it. We gonna sip about it, and that's it. So sit back, relax, get your drink, get your won't, get all of that, and enjoy it. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. What I always say, heavy on the subscribe. And let's get into it. Alright, so we don't need a drink for this, y'all. So I hope y'all got y'all drink. I got my little concoction here. Okay, so like I said, we are gonna talk about the time I went to jail for 3 months, 3 whole months for fighting. And I was 6 months pregnant when I went in, and I was 9 months pregnant when I came out. Yes, crazy. So I remember all of this just like it was yesterday. I was getting off of work. At that time, I was living with my sister. And I was getting off of work, and she had some neighbors that used to always fight. It was a couple that used to always fight next door. So when I got off of work, I'm like, I was coming up the stairs, and I came in the house. I'm like, they fighting again, girl? Talking to my sister. And she like, yeah, like, let's go listen. So we listening at the door. I think somehow we had walked out into the hallway listening, because they were loud. And so us being petty, I think it was me that had said something first, like, don't hit her or leave him alone. It was something like that. And so, boom, the girl came out of the apartment. I never knew this girl's name. So let's just give her a name. Let's call her Ashley. So the girl, like, came out the apartment. It's real aggressive, like, what y'all say? Like, and then that activated my sister, because my sister be on that rah-rah shit. So she like, they was going back and forth or whatever, and then the dude just came out. The dude was like a real shrimpy dude, like, and the girl, she was one of them type of girls that was suburb type of black girls, and the dude was like Arab or something like that. So it was a weird couple anyways. So the dude came out while her and my sister just arguing in the hallway. And I'm standing there, like, I'm standing there, like, just looking. They're going back and forth, getting louder and louder. And then out of nowhere, the girl just hit my sister, like, bing, hit her. And when something like that happens to, like, a sibling, you already in attack mode. I had forgot I was pregnant. I had forgot everything. When she hit my sister, boom, 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 boom. What? You got my sister? No. So me and the girl was fighting. Me and the girl started fighting. And I was beating her ass. All she was doing was pulling hair. Bitch, you got my hair, but I'm still, you feel me? So we fighting, and somehow we had ended up in their apartment. I guess their door was still open during this whole time, and I heard my sister like trying to get to the girl, but the dude kept like pushing my sister back or whatever. So I'm fighting, girl pulling my hair. I'm still like, you could pull my hair, but I'm still, you feel me? And then somehow the boyfriend had stopped it. And all of a sudden, my sister was just like, raw. Like, she started throwing stuff in the apartment, breaking stuff, boom, boom, boom. like just destroying their apartment. Like she destroyed their apartment. The dude was like, "No, just stop, man. Just get out. Just get out." So somehow we left. We went outside. We went downstairs and we went outside. And my sister was like, "Shit, I'm about to call the police on her." And little did we know that they was calling the police on us. So we had called the police. And then we went back inside to my sister's apartment. And so we just sitting there. Shoot, I was about to get ready to relax. Like, and wasn't nothing about to happen. This is me thinking, like, we called the police. Oh, well. So the police come. They knock on our door first. They get our IDs first. Then we explain what happened. One thing about it, I would say, we should never let them in the apartment, the police in the apartment. And then we should have had our story, you know. And so they left our apartment and then went next door to the couple's apartment. I didn't see the girl after I beat her up, but baby, her face was busted up. Like, looked like she really, bitch looked like she had got jumped. How bad her face looked. So while the police over there, I guess the girl had called her people. And so her aunties and mamas, like, it was like 3 grown ass ladies came over, and they went from the suburbs, if you know what I mean. They was from the hood. They like, come outside, come outside. The police like, calm that down. And they mad. They should never came up in my baby's apartment, da-da-da this, da-da-da that. So they riling it up. I'm still not thinking that nothing is gonna happen. I'm just thinking like, okay, they gonna just let it go. As always, when you call the police after a fight, they just look around and just let it go and keep going. So police came back. They asked me if I wanted to go to the hospital since I was pregnant. When I think about it, I should have said yeah. But I'm like, no, like, I'm good. So they talking amongst themselves. Me and my sister looking at each other like, what's going on? Like, why y'all still in here? And they like, we're gonna have to take you in. We like, why? She attacked us. Like, why? And they was like, from the looks of it, like, you guys did a lot of damage from the girl to the apartment. We're gonna have to take y'all in for assault and burglary. We like, burglary? Like, we ain't steal nothing? Like, I guess that's not what it means in the criminal justice world or whatever. And I'm like, and I had just started this job that I was at, making $15 an hour. And I was pregnant. So I'm like, cool. Like, and it was about to be tax time. Like, I was about to move out. Like, I was about to be set. So one police was real aggressive. He like, no, we're going to take y'all in. So the other police was like, y'all ain't gonna even be there all night. Like, y'all gonna be in and out. So he was trying to like soften the blow, so to say. And I'm still just like, am I gonna be able to go to work? Like, and he like, yeah, like, you gonna be able to go to work tomorrow? Yeah, like, you good. Like, y'all ain't even gonna be down there for that long. So we had to put on our coats. I'm like, can I get my purse from the room? He like, no, just come on. So we ain't had no purse. All we had was our coats and shoes and the clothes. They clanked us. And at that time, they wasn't supposed to handcuff me in the back because I was pregnant. So my handcuffs supposed to go in the front. Like, they literally did that whole thing so shiesty. Like, they was so shiesty to us. So we ride in the back, and I felt like I had a warrant from when I lived in Atlanta, but I guess I didn't. So we riding, we looking at each other like, damn, like, what the fuck? We get to the jailhouse. The people at the city, that's where we have, well, it was in the county's building, but it was the city jail. I guess the people at the city jail thought me and her had gotten into it, so they instantly, like, after they looked us, they put her in a cell, like, in the back, and they put me in a cell in the front. I had a cell to myself. She was sharing a cell with somebody else. And it was just so surreal. Like, it was a skinny little mat. Like, the mat that we was on was that thick. No pillow. Was there a blanket? I feel like it was like a little crunchy ass blanket. We sat in the city for 3 days. It was like 2 nights and 3 days. And we had to talk to a detective. And at that time, I just was not thinking, y'all. Like, I should never say nothing. Because I don't know what my sister had told the detective. So I'm sitting here trying to think, like, she probably said this, so let me say this. And it was just a mess. We just was oblivious to the whole judicial system. So I said what I said to the man. Basically, she attacked us and we retaliated in defense. That's it. And about the damages, I'm like, I don't know. I was getting beat up. That's what I said. Like, I don't know about no shit. Like, I was getting beat up. I don't know. And so, taking back to my cell, and we was calling people. Mind you, we ain't have our phones. And this day and age, we don't remember phone numbers. So I think before we had while we was getting booked, the people had let us write down some numbers or whatever. So I'm writing down, I had wrote down a couple of friends' numbers that I thought that would have my back. So I called a couple. One girl, one friend was like, I got you. Another friend was like, I got you. Obviously, nobody had me because I had to sit up in that bitch. But so time comes for the court. We didn't know what was going on. So they, like, we figured we about to go. Like, okay, we about to have court. Boom, boom, boom. But the thing was, the girl, Ashley, she pressed charges. Usually when you get into a fight, you call the police, that's it. People don't actually go downtown to file charges, to file a report. People don't do that. People in the hood don't do that. But she did. And that's what really made it worse, because she actually had filed charges against us. So we get to the court. We, like, listening to everybody that's in front of us. It was a big group of us, girls and boys. And so they just go in line and they get to us. We standing together. Bet. They said that bond was $10,000. Everything in my body melted. Everything. I remember that feeling. And we just walked out that courtroom. And now it was time to really get booked to go to county. And that process took a whole day. We just like, damn. So we went through the county booking process. We in the what do you call that place where before you go to jail you could like call people? It's like the pen. I think that's what it's called. I forgot what it's called, girl. So she on the phone with her peoples. After a while, nobody was answering my phone calls no more. I don't know why. To this day, I don't know why. I don't speak to some of them no more because of that. Like, I don't know. So she was on the phone. Like, she was calling her niggas. She was calling everybody that she knew. Me, I ain't had nobody. So we got booked, we got dressed, we got our spoon and our cup, literally, and they took me out first. Like, you're going to the medical pod. I'm like, we not gonna be together. Like, nah, you're pregnant, she's not. You gotta go to the medical pod. Bitch, I started crying. First, I'm already in jail. And now you telling me I can't be with my sister? Bitch. I was so distraught. I went into that jail. I had my cup and my spoon. And my little blanket that they give you. And I think they give you a blanket, a cup and a spoon, and like a little handbook. So I'm walking in the jail. They escort me to the they walked me into the pod. I'm walking in there like this, trying to hold back the tears, scared as fuck. I'm looking around, and it was dinner time, so everybody was in their cell, just looking out their little window. And all I could see was just eyes, just looking. And I'm just looking, scared, just like this, with my blanket, like. They took me to my cell. I sat down. I just started crying. Like, Lord, why am I in here? I'm not meant for this type of place. I was depressed. And then it was time for dinner. So I'm coming out of there. Lined up. They told us to line up for dinner. And for child. That's really what they was calling it. Child. Like, that's real life in jail. Child time. And I sat down at the table, and this one girl sat down. She was like, "You okay?" I'm like, She like, "Girl." Like, she was trying to, like, console me or whatever. And I'm looking at the food. Like, my first meal was just this dog food. Like, it literally looks like dog food with a piece of cornbread, I think a fruit, and some 1% milk. And I just started crying. I ain't give a fuck no more. Like, I'm really about to eat this. Like, I'm in jail. So, day in, day out. Like, the first couple of days was hard. Let me tell y'all the kicker. I forgot. So something told me, I think it was the second or third day, something told me to call my sister's phone. I called her phone. Mind you, she was booked into another pod. I called her phone. It had to be like the third day. Guess who answered? My sister. And she was like, "Yeah, my dad bonded me out." Mind you, me and her got different fathers. She's like, "Yeah, my dad bonded me out. I'm so sorry that you in there. I'm about to get us a lawyer, and I'm gonna get you out." Okay. I called her another day. I'm like, "Girl, I just want to go home. I'm not trying to be up in there." She like, "Girl, I know. I'm so sorry. Like I'm really trying to get us a lawyer. This." And then she hangs up. And then I never heard from her again. And when it was time for courts, she had her own lawyer. She had her own lawyer. I had a public defender because I ain't had nobody in my corner. I'm pregnant, in jail. I ain't had nobody. People stopped answering my phone calls. My friend, one of my friends, she was like, girl, I just had to get an abortion. So that's why I couldn't help you. And I understood that. Been there, done that. I understand it. Because, you feel me? So I understood that. So I ain't hold her. You know what I'm saying? She would answer my phone calls here and there. Because some phone calls, they get a little pricey afterwards. So I understood it. But everybody else, nobody. I ain't even trying to get sad. But it's just like, when you in a situation like that where you need people in your corner and there is no one, do you know how that makes you feel? No commissary. Nobody bothered to put money on my books, knowing that I was pregnant. The jail's walls was pushing up on me, y'all. Like, I'm in jail, mind you. I went to jail 2 days after Thanksgiving, or a day after Thanksgiving. My birthday, December 10th, I was in jail for that. Nobody answered their phone for that. Christmas, I was in jail. Nobody answered their phone. New Year's, I was in jail. Nobody answered the phone. Valentine's Day, I was in jail. And then it got to be to the point where I'm pregnant. So if I have this baby, like if this baby decided to come out early and I can't get in touch with nobody, where the baby about to go? They was gonna take her. They had told me that. The social worker told me that, like, if we can't get in touch with nobody, we're gonna have to get the baby, basically take her, because you in the system, so she gonna be in the system. Y'all, thank God that my child waited about 3 weeks after I left jail. And basically what happened was I had time served. That's why I was able to get out. Because after all the processing and everything, they was like, well, shit, you been in this bitch for 90 days. Now you about to go on probation for 90 days. And you can't live with your sister. So we gonna send you to a shelter. When I say I could not enjoy the bed, like after 6 months, like that's the time like you really start to enjoy your pregnancy. I went from jail to a shelter. Easy, like I would never wish jail on my worst enemy, man. It's horrible. It's horrible. You come into contact with so many different type of people, and heroin is a really big problem in Cleveland, Ohio. So it was so many people coming up in that place, like drugged the fuck up, and they was detoxing up in there, and that's not a pretty sight. Like you see so many things. Like it was a lady that killed her son. She was not allowed in general population because she was pregnant too, so that's why she was in my pod. and like she had to stay in her cell for 23 hours. I And then we watching the news and people cases on the news, and it was just a lot. Like, I think I got lucky for being in the medical pod, so wasn't nobody trying to fight because everybody was pregnant. I mean, it was a little tit for tat drama a little bit, but for the most part, it was just cliques. I was clicked up with the white girls, and then the black girls was over there, and then the junkies was over there. Like, it was really clicked up for real. It's so crazy to think about. But for real, y'all, like, I would never, ever, 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 ever wish jail on nobody. That was the worst experience I had in my life. So needless to say, I haven't talked to my sister almost 2 years. Like, when I got out, my stuff, like my bag, my purse, I miss that purse. What happened to that purse? Like, I went back to her place to get like some of my stuff and for her to take out my sewing. I had that sewing, girl, I had a sewing in my head for over, I already had the sewing in my head for like a month. And it was so crazy because I was planning on taking it out the next day before I went to jail. But I was up in the jail with a sewing. My hair was so clipped up. It was crazy. And she was so apologetic. And I'm just in the back of my mind like, okay. Like, where were you? Where were you when it was my time? When I really needed somebody in my corner, where were you? You could have had one of your friends come down there and put some shit on my books if it was like we couldn't be in contact with each other. I kind of understand that. But still, where were you? That's another story for another time. But anyways, y'all, that is my time when I went to jail at 6 months pregnant. The things that happened in my life, I don't know. So I hope y'all enjoyed this story. And make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me how I did for my first story time. And don't forget, y'all, to spread positivity throughout this world, because we sure do need it. And until next time, oh, I want y'all to get into this eye look. Let me know if y'all want a tutorial. Like, I'm really trying to be on my Beats by Deb, like with the glitter. I'm gonna do a tutorial anyway if y'all don't say it. So but anyways, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Heavy on the subscribe. And I'll catch you next time, girl. Bye.